What's going on, everybody? This is AJ Capasso here from Coventry Circle Paranormal. I'm here with my good friend
Steve-O from S&K Paranormal.
Steve-O, what's going on, my buddy? And you're watching a new episode of Talking with the Source. Guys, we have an awesome episode today. Right now, I'm in my car over at a friend's house, about to help him with some grass cutting and some good old landscaping when I get done with this episode at 3. So don't mind, some of the sounds you're probably going to hear in the background. I apologize for that. I will mute when I can. But we just want to do some shout outs real quick. We have some pretty awesome news. I want to give a shout out to our good friends over at Paranormal Consultant, Matt Barron, everyone at Paracrew Podcast. Check them out on Wednesdays, Saturdays. I mean, they have some amazing stuff. So check out over at Paranormal Consultant, social medias. Also, check out PD Region Paranormal, some awesome stuff that they have going on there. Also, some events, I believe, that are coming up. So go check out their social medias. I want to give a shout out to one of our best friends from Huntophobia on Paraflixx, Brian J. Laverty. Great friend of ours, and the one who runs Parapost. Amazing person. If you haven't checked out Parapost yet, we are streaming live from Parapost. Basically, it is a home of just paranormal things, like great paranormal podcasts, paranormal investigations. Hold on, here comes a lawnmower. Paranormal investigations, tarot card readings, all that cool stuff. So head over to Parapost Network Central on Facebook. Want to give a shout out to Eldon and everyone over at Global United Paranormal Foundation. Just amazing people over here that are helping people across the U.S. Just awesome things they're doing. Go check them out. Soon, Paratech Laboratories will be releasing their paranormal equipment. So stay tuned for updates on that. We can't wait for all this to release, this equipment. It's going to be groundbreaking. FCD Ghost Boxes. I want to give a shout out to our good friend Nigel Mortimer and Helen Mortimer over at FCD Ghost Boxes in the UK, making some amazing spirit communication devices. Head over to fcdboxes.co.uk now. Get 10% off, $10 off your first order. We want to give a shout out to Ghost Energy for sponsoring this episode as well. They have some creepy flavors like Swedish fish, orange creamsicle, Sour Patch Kids. So check them out at health food stores like GNC. And some big announcement that we have that was just revealed this week: Global Ghost Hunt will be happening. It's going to be a 10-day event where paranormal teams from all over the globe are going to be at haunted locations, streaming multiple different platforms and locations. And it's just going to be an epic ghost hunt. Like I said, 10-day event. Looking forward to it. Join us. The website will be up soon. You can go to Twitter now. They have a Global Ghost Hunt page that has been set up by the team. But we're going to make it happen next year, 2023. So join us. Registration is going to be limited this year. But there's also going to be a volunteer page. So make sure to go to the website and volunteer. But Steve-O, so today, man, we have an awesome guest. Our guest today is from True North Paranormal, up where you live in Canada, man. Jon and Karina, they have an amazing show that's on multiple streaming platforms and like Prime and like Paraflixx, and they're just a power couple. They're amazing people. I mean, you want to say some stuff, man? Because I know you've known Jon for a while, so please,
many years. They're a tremendous team. They go out, they explore, they work hard. Their evidence is groundbreaking. So I mean, a lot of the things that they do are very genuine, and I'm proud to call them my friends.
100%, 100%. Well, without further ado, let's bring Jon in the forefront here. Jon, what is up, my brother?
Hey, how you guys doing, man? Doing good up here.
Good, man. Awesome. How's the weather up there?
Man, it's gorgeous. I'll tell you, we got overcast, but I don't know. I'll take it, man. I'll take rain. Not a big deal.
Right. Hey, is the weather warm? That's all that matters.
It's starting to warm up. I mean, contrary to popular belief, we're not living in igloos anymore. So we actually left the igloo like 2 weeks ago. So
there you go.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
I was watching Steve-O and I'd call him up and he'd be in like 3 feet of snow and I'd be like, nope, I'm good, man. I live on the East Coast of the US, but I'm still good. Like, no, I don't want none of that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, actually had to fly out to the East Coast to help Steve-O and Kelly build their igloo. So I mean,
Oh, okay, that makes
yeah,
sense. I get it.
that's how Canadians work, eh?
Hey, yeah, hey. I love it. I love
Yeah.
it. That's so awesome. But so man, Steve, I'm gonna let you begin first. I know you want to ask me some stuff, so I'm gonna let you start, and then I'll jump in.
Yeah, sure. How you been, man? Long time.
Man, it has been forever, eh? Like, yeah. No, things have been really, really awesome up here. Some good things finally happening. The COVID finally let up, so we're able to start filming again, which is kind of nice. I mean, we really missed it, right? So, both myself and Karina, Dean and Denise, we were basically just chomping at the bit for this COVID stuff to chill out.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, it definitely makes it hard to get out there and investigate and
Yeah.
explore, right? So
Totally, man, totally. And it's unfortunate, right? Like there's a lot of great locations, as you're aware in Canada, that we want to get to, but with the restrictions and everything that were happening up here, province to province, it was tough, right?
yeah, I mean it's hard, flying, traveling, whatever the case may be. It's like we have all these great ideas and we want to implement them and get them started, but we can't because COVID restrictions. So it definitely
Yeah,
did
man.
get difficult.
Exactly.
So, John, I wanted to ask you, man. I know that COVID kind of like halted everything, like you were just saying, because it halted everything for everybody.
Yeah.
Sucked. Tell me, so you guys did seasons 1 through 3. You guys have something in store for the next season? What's going on with it?
Well, season 1 right now is up on Paraflixx. Season 2, we're officially done filming season 2. We're actually moved on to season 3 now. So
That's what.
we're filming for season 3.
Yeah, my apology. That's what I meant to say. I meant to say, do you have something after season 3 though? But I meant to get at. Sorry, I said it all wrong when it came out. My apology.
All good, man. All good, all good.
Do you guys have anything after? Like, you guys gonna keep going? Is this what you guys doing, or is this something?
Yeah, man. Like Thunder Boys is Thunder Boys is a great company. I have nothing but good things to say about Thunder Boys Productions Inc. I mean, they've really taken True North to this amazing platform where we are now, and being humble, right? Like I'm really humbled to be a part of this. So I mean, Thunder Boys really really pushes True North now, and we actually just signed an exclusivity deal with Paraflixx. So the next couple seasons of True North is exclusively on Paraflixx, which is pretty rad. I mean, we were pretty excited to announce that.
Yeah, I'm super pumped about that, man. I did actually get to I had my Paraflixx prescription for a little bit before I got into some financial stuff that I had to focus some of my finances on, so I had to get rid of it for a second. But I tell you, amazing platform, and I just I'm super happy you guys are on there. That's all I could say, man. Like, I'm so happy, and to have those exclusive those next seasons, that's gonna be so awesome. Can you give us some insight a little bit about what's happening with season 3? I know you guys can't really talk about it, but
No, I can divulge a little bit. So we just started filming season 3. Actually, Karina and I moved into a really rural community out here in BC, which is really cool because, I mean, I don't know, man. There's something about the mountains and the country out here, right? So we actually filmed right in our current hometown. So I'll kind of give you guys a little bit on this. So this place we filmed at, it's actually a museum in the town we were at, the Falkland Museum. They have this old church. And this old church has to have one of the most nasty entities we've ever encountered. Put things in perspective for you, we were doing a Facebook Live session there, and Dean actually got scratched in front of everybody, and it actually bled. It was the coolest thing. I mean, Dean felt sick, and he didn't think it was as cool as I did, but it was cool.
Yeah. No, that's great. Oh man, I'm looking forward to seeing that. That's gonna be so awesome. Hey, I want to say, Robin, you need to don't even give me AJ. I sent it to your messenger. Go look in Messenger. It's on Messenger. Go look in Messenger. Don't make me sign off of here, dude. I'm gonna have to whoop you. This guy, this co-host of mine, I tell you, is something else. No, I just want to mess with him quick because he said he didn't have the link, and I'm like, no, I sent you the link, but Hopefully you can jump in. If not, I'll jump out quick. Have Steve-O talk to you real quick, or one of the two, vice versa.
For sure, man.
But man, so that sounds pretty intense, dude. I mean, what was Dean's reaction? Because I mean, at first I want to shout out to Dean because Dean is an amazing person from Thunder Boys. He has such a good heart, such an amazing person, man. And watching you two guys, your chemistry together also is just amazing as well. Because it's like watching two best friends having the time of their life. You know, when I get to see you guys together, and it's good stuff. It really is. But hey, Steve, can you do me a favor? Because I don't know if the live will end if I leave. Can you jump out and send in the link by chance?
I can actually. I've got a second device. I can do it.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you had another device. Thank you, Robin.
Look at Steve-O go.
Yeah, Robin.
That's ingenuity right there. That's thinking outside the box. Good job, Steve-O.
Yeah, Steve-O is the man. But so what I wanted to ask you, Jon, was so what was your highlight so far paranormal experience? I mean, to me, it would be what you just shared, but from seasons now 1 and now you're filming 3, what was been the craziest thing for you?
Man, there has been so many really cool things happen, but I think one of the places that stand out most to me would be Hell's Gate, BC. There's this, they call this entity Edward. He's been there for a long time, and we literally came to a head with Edward. So they have, I think there's 3 entities there that were reported. We managed to catch one with our SLS. This guy's called the Smoking Man. He likes to hang out in this lounge, and we had our SLS up, and we actually saw this guy go to take a drag of a cigarette on the SLS. It's the coolest thing. What's that?
Hi, Jon.
Hey, how's it going, Robin?
Hey.
So, yeah, without further,
You made it.
Robin, the good old UK host of mine, shows up because he says he didn't have the link. Liar.
I didn't have the link. As your bloody phone. Steve-O sends it through straight away.
Oh, I didn't want to hear you.
Steve-O, do you know what it was? He didn't actually want me on. He didn't send it at all.
Hey,
I'm your hero today.
Hey, Jon, you know what the best part about StreamYard is that I can just go like this.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I'm sorry, I had to do that. I just had to. Anyway, sorry everybody, but Robin, glad we.
Anyway, Jon, ignore him. How are you?
I'm doing great, my friend. How are you doing over there?
Yeah, not bad, not bad.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's the
Why
other
are you
side
sitting
of the
here?
coin.
Are you waiting on a client?
What's that?
You're such an idiot. No, he's messing around. He's being stupid. But anyway, so I don't know. Robin, have you got a chance to actually check out True North yet? Because I know I haven't. I didn't get to send it to you because I was been just super busy all the
No,
time.
I've looked at bits and pieces, so I have, but I haven't had a chance to literally go through it. But I mean, when I was booking a lot of guests on, I mean, Jon was definitely on the map for that because some of your stuff that I've seen is very good.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So,
Jon, can you share a little bit of like how much work goes into what you guys are doing? I mean,
Like, are we talking per episode or?
Yeah, whatever way you want to share it. I mean, just in general, I know.
Sure, man. So I'll break down a filming location for you. I'll kind of do the one day, and then I'll tell you,
Cool.
So each time we're on location, an hour-long episode of True North Paranormal is minimum 4 to 5 nights. You with me? Am I here?
Yep.
All right.
Got
Cool.
you. Got
okay, he's just got that far right look at his face.
No, I appreciate it.
Freeze frame.
Yeah. So it's minimum 4 to 5 days filming, and when we're doing this, I mean, I have early call times because I man a camera as well with when my wife's filming. So Karina does her walkthroughs before I get a chance to go and investigate every night. It looks like AJ's frozen on my end.
Yeah, he likes that, you see. He likes having his face frozen on the camera.
He's like,
yeah, he's got that freeze frame going on.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
It's all good, I guess. I'll just keep going, man.
Carry on. Don't worry about
I'll
it.
just keep going. You guys don't mind, right?
Oh, no, carry on.
There you go. So my call time, I mean, we usually wrap our investigating about 3 to 4 a.m. And I get a call time in between 8:30 and 9 o'clock in the morning. So, I don't get a ton of sleep. But, it's worth it, right? So
Definitely, yeah, it is because I know for a fact. I mean, Steve will know as well. Sometimes if you're out in investigations and stuff, you can't put a time limit on it. You can't say, "Oh, I'll go here and I'll spend an hour here," because you can't do it.
no, man, it's
I went
impossible. I mean,
somewhere. I went somewhere and I said to Julie, "I'll be home in an hour and a half," and I turn up 4 hours later. She's like,
yeah, I know, right? If it lights up, it lights up. I mean, you got to keep going until it dies down, right? Like,
"If
and
someone's
especially when,
talking to me, I'm going to listen because nobody else normally talks."
yeah, yeah, exactly, right? I mean, it's one of those things. I mean, and with a camera over my shoulder, like it's literally when we go and film, it's me and Dean when I'm investigating, right? So Dean's there, and when it really lights up, I mean, man, you guys know you're lucky if you get 2 pieces of evidence per investigation. You're lucky. So over a 4 to 5 day span, I mean, you're sitting there and you're waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and when it lights up, you really got to give.
You have to. You got to spend a lot of time on it, haven't you?
Oh yeah, yeah, tons of it. Like I was saying, every episode of True North, it's 4 to 5 days, and it's basically the best evidence that we can capture, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, and I mean, a lot of it, we do our best to rule it all out. I mean, we have the mindset that a place isn't haunted until we believe it is. You know?
Well, that's the thing because I know for a fact I've got my mother-in-law on my team, and although she believes in it, she's skeptical of a lot of stuff. So she's my skeptic, really. And if something happens, she'll be the first one to try and debunk it. And
Yeah,
it's like it's good in a way because you've got someone else there. If you hear something and you're like, right, you're trying to process it in your head. For instance, was that footsteps? Or what? Was it maybe the building because the building's creaking stuff like that? I mean,
that's
you
right.
just don't know. It's good to have someone like that with you that can.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and that's kind of like with True North. What we do is Dean was a biologist. That's what his career was prior to this. So we have a science background. We actually use the sciences. Where paranormal investigation itself is a pseudoscience based on the first law of thermodynamics. We really apply that to our investigating techniques.
Yeah, definitely.
Sorry, guys. What ended up happening was my iPhone literally overheated. I don't even know how. I was sitting in the car, but obviously the car is very hot. So I apologize about that, John. My apology.
It's all good, my friend.
I've
All
never
good.
had that happen, man. It shut down. A temperature sign came up. It said, "You cannot use the phone. It's too hot. It's overheating." I'm like, "Oh, let me go."
They both help
Oh,
me out.
nice, man.
But yeah, no. So anyway, no. But I just like what you actually were saying, how you guys apply that, to your investigations and everything like that. How many? I wanted to ask you, how long do you think you guys would say that it takes to film an episode for you guys?
It's 4 to 5 nights easily.
Okay. So like a full 4 to 5 nights. It's not,
Yeah, we're not in and out. We're 4 to 5 nights per location. So I mean, the places we've been at have been really gracious. They typically let us stay on site. I know Hell's Gate. We were actually sleeping inside this kiosk in the middle of Hell's Gate, and there's literally one way in and one way out. It's on this like really long tram ride, and yeah, it was cool. So they let us stay down there. It was something else.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so awesome. That's so cool, man. Now tell me, from doing this work, would you say that would you say that your faith has risen from doing this work about an afterlife, or would you say that it's become restricted in some way? What would you say?
That's a tough question. I think there is something after here. I mean, again, if we apply the first law of thermodynamics, energy can't be destroyed.
Yeah.
It can be changed, and that's it. But you can't destroy an energy. It doesn't just fizzle out and be done. That's scientifically impossible. So, all those neurons in our heads have to go somewhere, right? Like there's millions of neurons firing at once. So I believe there's something.
I love how the way you just described that, because that's constantly what I'm saying, right, Robin and Steve-O? I'm always talking energy, so I love when I hear somebody say that, because it's so true. Like I was saying that I had this theory when I was telling Robin and Steve-O one time that it's almost like with paranormal experiences that people have, it's almost like this energy, whatever it may be, or whatever this conscious energy that we are considered, It seems like that everybody obviously has their personal experience, and it's almost like that energy is translating um, into a form of how their consciousness is understanding it. And what I
Absolutely.
mean, you know, like what I mean is like for people that don't understand what I just said is basically it's these three little kids that were on TV down here recently and probably all over. You probably saw them too, John. They got woken up. Their mom had a baby camera in there, and they were triplets, and they were jumping on the wall, saying there was a lion on the wall, and they were telling it to leave, but they know it wasn't on camera. You couldn't see it, and all of a sudden it roared, scared them all three at the same time. They ran out of the room, and they described it as a lion. So I wonder, just like how, you know, that's for these kids. I wonder if, you know, for us when we have these paranormal experiences, is that that energy is just literally translating itself to us in that way.
Yeah, you know what? That's a good, theory on it. Absolutely. And this is the thing that I love about paranormal investigation is the millions of theories. We don't know enough. We don't.
Exactly.
We
And
we
we
don't
never
have the
will.
answers. I mean,
Yeah, I don't think
yeah,
we ever will.
no. No, I mean we can keep furthering the field to
Yeah,
potentially one day get close enough to find those answers. But man,
absolutely.
you look at how long paranormal investigation's been a thing. Back when it was taboo, 100 years ago, to where now it's more mainstream and more accepted in society and culture, right? And it's come a long way, but there's still a long way to go.
Yeah.
Gear's always evolving. You know,
No, you're right.
Do you
You're
not think as well,
absolutely
John, though, that something that I do when I'm out as well is if it's someone that's like died in the 1800s, for instance, you can't, in my mind anyway, you can't say to them, can you come over to this K2 meter and make it light up? Because they're going to think to themselves, the hell's a
yeah,
K2 meter?
yeah.
You
Well,
know,
like, what the hell
you've
are
got
you
to try and
talking
put it,
about?
yeah, you've got to try and put it in simplest terms, haven't you?
Yeah, well, totally. I know when I put my K2 down now, I know there's flaws with every piece of gear out there, and the K2 is no exception.
yeah.
So I really limit what I have on me. My radio, I make sure is as far away as possible, no cell phones. Make sure I do a full sweep. Put that K2 down, and instead of saying, "Can you go to the K2 meter?" It's like, if you come touch this black box right here, you can make a whole bunch of lights turn on.
Yeah.
And that's kind of my approach to it, right? Can you touch this and make these light up?
Yeah, I love the approach that you just said to that because that's so true. You know, just like how you said, Robin, too, and I know Steve believes the same. You know, you have to be like kind of like that because it's like when you're talking to a spirit, you don't know when they were around. You know, you don't know if it's from yesterday or from, I mean, it could be, just from the location and be 800 years ago. You know, you would never know. So how would they interpret what
That's
we
it, really,
have?
isn't it?
But you know what?
Yeah,
Then it
like,
brings the question. Then it brings the question, though. Do you gain knowledge when we cross over? So do these spirits actually do know? Do they? You know, it's like it's that weird theory thing again, where like, because some people say when you go to heaven, you get this all-whelming knowledge, but then again, like we said, no, who knows?
yep. We'll never know.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, one day we'll know, but for now we don't know.
Yeah, I think what Matt said is right as well. And it sounds a bit silly, but it's not really. It's like trying as if you're explaining it to a child, really,
Yeah,
Yes,
because
yes,
you know, I've watched some videos and people go out and they turn on maybe their SB7 and it'd say, if you come towards this SB7 here and talk, and you're thinking to yourself, but you know, if they
yeah.
died
Like,
last week, then fair enough, they'll know what an SB7 is. But if they died 120 years ago, they're not going to know that.
well, and let's flip the script even. I mean, how many people who don't do paranormal investigation even know what an SP7 is? I mean, this is the reality of it. I mean, we can start throwing all these terms out, and to the average Joe that's still here walking the earth with us today, I mean, they won't know,
Yeah,
you know?
definitely. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so same theory, right? It's I know one thing that I really try to explain really well is actually my REM pod. Because I mean, REM pods are great pieces of tech if they can trigger them. But it's trying to explain it in, like Matt said, little kid terms, right? You know, come
yeah.
touch this rod sticking up, and if you do, these lights will turn on like a Christmas tree.
it's so funny because right before you said that, that's what I was thinking. Like explaining to him like it's a Christmas tree when you touch it. So like
Man,
that
I love
lights up.
Christmas,
I
dude. I
like it.
really
No, I
do.
would have done the same thing, man. I like that. That's so funny.
Yeah.
It's funny. Matt said SB7 broken radio. Thought that was kind of funny. You know, it's funny, man, because there's so many different pieces of equipment, like spirit boxes now that are being made from, you know, just regular, you know, Joes like us, and then actual people who know the science and stuff behind it. And it's incredible to see like how much it's progressed since
Yeah.
the 50s. You know what I mean? Like from what
Yeah.
they were doing.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, though, man, from what I've been doing with like my research and stuff, I'm almost like going back to some of those older ways and like just seeing if we can improve them. You know what I mean?
Totally,
So,
man.
because I mean, like you know, one of the things that they don't use anymore, and I harp about it all the time, is Marcello Bacci's method, which is DRV, direct response or direct voice response phenomenon or something like that. I can't remember if it's DRV or DVR. But basically, he would turn on, you know, the shortwave radio, tune it between like 8 and 9 megahertz, going back and forth, and then all of a sudden, like the spirit would literally shut the static off, and a wind sound would come, and then all of a sudden, a voice would start speaking knowledgeably, and they'd be able to talk back and forth, like me and you are talking right now. And they have videos of him actually doing it, and the scientists came in, FBI came in, took the tubes out, unplugged it, and the voices still persisted to come out. And they came to the conclusion that they believed that it was his connection as a medium being able to transfer his concentration and energy into this and have the spirits connect through that shortwave radio, just like we do with spirit boxes. But I tell you what, man, I think that going back to some of those older techniques and just trying to improve them instead of the way that we have been, I think would make, you know, some serious headway sometimes, you know?
I agree, man. I think sometimes simpler is better. You know, when we
Right.
start overcomplicating things, we start creating new problems. And, you know, why create new problems when we have the opportunity to refine the old problems and phase them out?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I totally
I
agree.
used to go out with a whole backpack full of gear, and now it's literally I go out with the least amount, really, because I find that, and AJ will tell you, I find that photographs now are nearly as good as evidence as a spirit box.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm inclined to agree. I know I'm kind of the same way. Like, I wear a vest, and the reason I wear it is because I have all my gear in it. You know, it saves from having to go from where the location I'm at to the production trailer to grab something else, and I could pull it out easily. But man, I'll tell you, I have my favorites. You know, I have my go-tos, and they're my fail safes. And you know, I agree. Simpler is better, completely. It's a KISS
Definitely.
rule. Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah. It's funny because once you have your set way, it's like, why go anywhere else? You know what I mean? It's how it feels, you know? When you
Yeah,
have
man.
those
You know
set
what works.
items.
Yeah. Like,
And Steve-O's connection's phenomenal.
Yeah.
well, that's
Steve,
why I
what were
like
you gonna say?
investigating. You know, I'd rather just take my cell phone, put it on video, throw the video into black and white, and there you go. You got your infrared camera with your light on, and you know you'll catch all sorts of evidence that way, and you'll pick up EVPs better too.
Yeah, I've had some success actually. So I went to Winnipeg last year to visit some family, and I had a buddy of mine who I went to school with. Like, I've known my buddy Ray since I was, God, at least 10. You know, every time I go to his house, I came home grounded. I mean, we just got in trouble together, right? So, but yeah, I went to his place because he had something going on, and you know, he had some crazy things happening. So, you know, I didn't bring my voice recorder with me, so I'm like, well, what am I going to do? I'm just going to use my phone. So I put my phone down in the middle of the room. I started trying to get responses, and I'll tell you, some of the responses I got were just amazing. You know,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
yeah, totally.
I'll say
Now,
the only
Steve,
thing I'm missing at the minute, I think from my point of view, is a decent spirit box, which obviously I'm working on getting one at the minute, but that's the only thing really that because I had an SB7 and I couldn't get on with it.
Yeah. You know, it's funny you say that. I agree with you. I use the SB11 myself. The SB11 is bigger and bulkier, but I find that when I put my sweep rate, one going forward, one going reverse, I get better responses because of the two channels.
yeah.
You know, it's almost like it comes clear. In fact, we're doing these public tours here over Halloween. So people were coming out to where we were to investigate these grounds that we were on with us. And I'll tell you, every night without fail, as soon as I turned my SB11 on, I'd talk to the gentleman that's there. I said, "Hey, old guy, I know you're a bit cranky, but let's be friends tonight. Can you say hi, John?" And then, sure enough, hi, John. And it's the creepiest thing. Like, so many people heard this, and I don't know, you never get used to hearing someone call your name that you can't see, right? But,
Right. I know. That's one of the best parts, man. And like I was telling Robin and everyone like last week on the show, I went from doing like full investigations like that to really doing like spirit communication only because of how much I love spirit communication. And really like that's like, I mean, not that investigations aren't my focus anymore, but like my main focus is the spirit communication part because it's just so fascinating when you hear some intelligent response come back to what you're saying. I mean, Steve-O, how about for you, man? Like how, stuff that you get when you're reviewing, you're like, what,
Yeah, I mean, some of it's mind blowing. Whether we're using the portal or a radio or whatever. And speaking of that, the SB11, I think they just came out with a new one that has a noise reduction on it, where it actually cuts out the static.
they did. It's like a toy, man. I saw that. And the first thing I said to Dean is, we need to get that for the show. We need that.
Absolutely. Like, most people will be like, do you use a radio? Yeah, but when it comes to using it, that's fine. But when I'm sitting there editing for like 2-3 hours and I take my headphones off, it's just like, oh my God, I need to go outside and air out my head,
Well, and yeah, and the flip side now, anybody that watches these shows like True North or whatever show you're watching, Beyond the Veil, they don't understand that static when you're actually in the field and you're hearing it is so hard to make out what they're saying when it's right beside you. Like, it is one of the most annoying things to try to piece together what they're saying.
Yeah.
It is. You're better off putting it. I learned it when I had that portal, AJ. Remember I had that portal with the Tesla coil on it? Yeah. And I learned from it because I used to put it on in a location and stand in front of it filming. And then I thought, no, I had to end up stepping back across the room and you heard the things far clearer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we started doing too. Actually, one of the episodes in season 2 is the Kaitani house. And I actually got really annoyed because I was getting responses and I couldn't hear what they were saying properly. I was just getting more and more frustrated. I'm like, God, this static is annoying. So I ended up putting it down in the middle of the room. And yeah, same deal. I'll put it down now. Instead of walking around with it, I'll put it down and I'll walk away a good 5-6 feet. And all of a sudden they, pardon me, become a little bit more clear, right?
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's funny because when you're out there doing investigations, your first thing is not, oh, let me worry about how the sound projects or let me worry about this. And sadly, you have to if you really want to document something, and it's crazy. It's crazy how much factors go in.
Yeah, dude. And I'm kind of fortuitous that way because Dean's always with me and the camera's always there. So, I mean, Dean's got a good ear. And I mean, Dean, even though he's my cameraman and producer and the owner of Thunder Boys, he's just as important to the investigation as the work I'm doing, right?
Absolutely.
So, I'm out there deploying everything that we're using. And Dean's got a better view and vantage point. So, I mean, there's times during our shows where Dean will be like, did you hear what that said? I'll be like, no, dude, I heard static. Be like, I just said your name. It's like, oh yeah, okay, well that's cool. Yeah, it's cool having that extra vantage point. But yeah, distance, I'm telling you, man, distance is the way. This is the way.
That's awesome. Yeah, you're totally right. You're totally right. John, tell me what was the scariest place that you've been to in your opinion so far?
Scariest place I've ever been to would probably have to be Sandon, BC.
Explain why. Explain why.
All right, so there's a place in Sandon, BC called the White House. Now, backstory on Sandon, BC was it was a mining town. It really thrived during the Silver Rush. And if there was ever a place that was as close to the Wild West in Canada that you could get, this was it. So you had everything from, there was like 30 bordellos when the town was booming. The greed, gluttony. I mean, it doesn't matter what you look at, it was there. So there was a lot of things there. And this one house we went into, it actually is kind of a sad story. A dad had a stepdaughter and the mother had passed away. And the dad did some not nice things to this daughter. Things that he'd go to jail for nowadays. So long story, really short, the guy's still there. and he's really, really nasty. So we were all upstairs. With a location that size, we have more cameras, so we need more camera people. And we were all stationed throughout the place. Myself, Dean, Kent Mickey, who is a cameraman for Thunder Boys as well as a host for Trigger Effect. Karina, we were all in different places. And man, I'll tell you, this guy got angry because Karina was doing a crossover to try to help this poor kid out. And I guess just this guy got angry, and then Karina yells, "He's coming." And sure enough, as soon as she says that, my millimeter just spikes. I hit like 15 point something milligauss for about 3 seconds and gone in a place that has no electricity.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's crazy. That's wild.
So he goes downstairs, and then same thing, and Dean catches this black figure across the camera and gone, and then out of nowhere, just this loud boom. And it had no epicenter. Like, it was so crazy. Like, we couldn't figure out where this bang came from, and it was nuts. So we actually went back there, and this thing actually made me physically sick. We documented all this on camera where I had to leave. So, I mean, I felt this weird pressure in my head, and I guess I was talking. And when I talk on the camera, I'm constantly communicating so the viewer knows what's going on. And I would be like, talking, and I'd be like, so I really feel like everything's okay, and I'd have that long pause in there. And Dean was actually getting worried about me. Like, he's like, I think we might have to take him to the hospital. So I ended up getting this weird feeling come over me. I'm like, I gotta go. I can't be in here. I've never felt anything this oppressive in my life. Like, it was the most invasive thing I've ever experienced. And to this point, it's the only thing that's actually struck fear in my heart.
Wow.
It's weird when you one like that, though, isn't it? When it actually makes you feel physically sick. Because I've had that once, where I've literally had to leave a location because it just comes on out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And it's like, if I don't get out of here, everybody on camera is going to see what I had for breakfast. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Right. It's something else.
Really...
I mean,
sorry, John. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you go ahead, AJ. I cut you off.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, what's really wild is that us, like most investigators, you'll hear them say, "Oh, the spirit is making me sick" or whatever, but we never truly take into account or think of in that moment about how high EMF can affect the body, like, seriously. And it's so funny because even when I'm out, like, that's not the first thing I'm gonna think. I'm thinking it's, obviously I'm gonna call, say, spirit, it's making me sick. But what if the consciousness energy, right, that is inside of us that makes us who we are, what if when it's outside of the body, that it to interact with a human or a physical being can actually harm that physical body that it's not a part of? And I wonder if that's the reason why we see a lot of spirits like kind of like back off, like they're not always like, oh, why can't you like hug me, why can't you touch me all the time, all stuff like that. And it's like very quick. Because I wonder, because then you see like cases where people get scratched or they have like a handprint on them or something like that. And I wonder if that's from that energy, like being such a high, whatever it may be, EMF or whatever, like actually affecting the physical body. And, it goes back to obviously just one of those theories again, but it's weird to think about because we never truly think while we're out investigating, like, oh, EMF can cause all of this sickness so hard. What if that spirit, is affecting us, but not purposely? It's just, itself.
Well, it's interesting you say that because I mean, we actually did one case way back when True North first started, and I mean, the higher the EMF is, the more it does to you. It can actually, the higher the level you have, it can actually influence your mind and make you see things that aren't there. Influence your feelings. This house, I've never seen EMF that high inside of a house before, and it was because of unshielded wiring. So, I mean, it was very explainable. They weren't seeing an entity. There was nothing there. It was just really high EMF affecting their head. So, I mean, my job is to tell them, hey, you got to get something done about this wiring because it's actually harming you. And prolonged exposure, I mean, it's medically proven. It can do some very serious things that could potentially even lead to fatality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've also got a theory about that.
Yeah.
Sorry, AJ.
No, go ahead.
No, I've also got a theory about that. To a certain level, is like when people go to somewhere that it's a haunted location, and they go to do an investigation and they say, you know, we didn't catch anything, or they'll go to a location like that and then they'll say, oh, well, I got scratched. And it's like, I find that a lot of this stuff, especially here in the UK, happens in places that are being done on like a daily basis, you know, and I'm thinking to myself, are they sometimes not communicating and not showing us they're there because basically they're pissed off because there's so many people coming and going? Or is it that there's so many people coming and going and not showing them the respect that they just, you know, lash out kind of thing, you know, because it's like something that's not like they're getting a break. It's like every single day, it's the same thing, you know, demands, throw something at me, you know, touch me. It's not like some people there's no please and thank you with. It's just demand, demand, demand. And maybe obviously, you know, they just get either pissed off with it and either lash out or else think, do you know what? I'm not giving you the time of day.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. I know as a living person, if I weren't getting respect and people kept, hey, do this, do this, do this, I'd be like, man, go pound sand, kick rocks, get out of here. I'm done. You
Yeah.
know, I just feel like I'm done. Forget it. You know, Canadian or not, I'm not being nice anymore.
No,
It is, because you go to a zoo and you see the gorilla enclosure and you're at the window and all the kids are knocking the window and waving at it, wanting to wave back. How many times a day, how many days a year does that same gorilla see kids waving at them and knocking the window?
Yeah, yeah, no, and that's an
Get
interesting
out of
thing.
here.
Like, you're absolutely right, Robin. And I think, you know, I think because people don't understand what's going on, I think you're probably right. I mean, I'm sure every one of us would get annoyed if people kept making demands of us all the time. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's where a lot of these cases that people think, oh, it's demonic right away. I think that's where a lot of these cases originate from. That like 98% of the time or 97% of the time that it's really not a demonic, you know, spirit. It's just really like a douche kind of person who passed away, who is now fed up with things, and or is still angry and, you know, tells you, oh, I'm a demon or I'm this and that. Because I just don't believe that like a demonic creature that is this intelligent or whatever that they are made out to be is gonna go, I'm a demon. Like, really? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you really need to tell me that? Like, if you wanted to, you could snap my neck in two. Like, and that's what you're gonna say, you know? So
Yeah.
like, I just don't believe when I see a lot of this stuff like that. But I mean, tell me from your experiences on the show and from everything that you've, you know, done just your whole life with this. Have you ever had any experience where you thought to yourself, like, yes, this has to be a demonic, you know, entity in some way, or just
Made
a
the hair on my
star?
arm stand up, actually. Yeah. I will say what is in Sandon is demonic. We've actually taken steps as far as to consult a demonologist. You know, so Sandon, BC is, of all the cases we've done in all the years we've done them, it's literally the only place where I'd say something is demonic. I've found no evidence to substantiate most demonic claims. Now, that's not to say I'm right. I can't clarify that enough. It just means I haven't found it. The information in my wheelhouse or expertise in my wheelhouse isn't enough to say if it's a demon or not. So, you know, one dog too many.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I tell you what, hearing you talk about that place, it's, you know, it's serious because I know you and like nothing really shakes you, man. So to hear that is definitely something, you know.
Yeah, man. And I mean, we're talking about going back there with this demonologist we know and going for the hat trick. And it's like, man, I don't want to go back in there. I so don't want to go in there. You know,
Wow.
it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's the only place I've ever been where I walk in and it's just instant fear in the heart. It's like
Wow.
that.
I tell you what,
Yeah.
I'll actually make good use of this here because I want to ask a question and I want to ask the three of you this one, right? And even anybody who's watching. If someone who's passed, you keep having them in a dream, does that mean that they're trying to make contact with you?
Yeah.
It's a good question.
Visitation. That's from what I've done. I mean,
I
from
tell you
what
what
I've
it is,
heard.
right? This is going to sound weird, but this is what's happening with me, right? my favorite band is Def Leppard. You know that, don't you, AJ?
Hmm.
Right? And they had a guitarist who died in 1991 called Steve Clark.
Yeah.
And I went to his grave to see his grave when I was in Sheffield, and I felt a really weird connection when I was there. I felt like someone was trying to talk to me. And ever since then, once or twice a week, this guy's in a dream of mine.
Yeah, that's one of those things where, like, especially when it comes to doing sessions, if you have a strong connection with a band or a person from that band or a movie or whatever, you know, they're gonna want to stay around you. They have that connection, that energy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I actually feel as if I actually know the guy and I've never met him.
No.
I'm going to say that, in my opinion, would be why not? I mean, the beauty of the paranormal is, again, we just don't know enough. So who's to say they can't manipulate dreams? Who's to say?
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I thought.
And if you're not sure if it's them or not, and you think it's something else, ask it questions in your dream that only that person would know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Ask them how long it took them to write Photograph.
What a song.
Right?
There you go.
Beauty, beauty.
You're right. You're right. You know, it's funny because you know, like what Steve-O said, like I believe that we can connect with, you know, anybody or any, you know, band, any music, anything, by just liking, you know, having a connection and really liking, you know, that music or band or artist or whatever it may be. Because if you're like for Robin, like you may be sending out that frequency to him, like whatever this energy may be, like we may call it conscious energy or whatever, and you know, you may be tapping into that frequency that he is, you know, a part of, or that is part of him. And you know, you could be drawing him in, and he could be, or you could have, who knows, maybe a past life where you knew him. I mean, anything's possible, just like John
Yeah,
said.
it's just weird. It's just weird how it's been happening. And I haven't said
Oh,
anything to anybody about it because it's only been like once or twice a week, but it's constant, you know what I mean? And it's
Yeah.
like in my dream, it's like he's one of your best mates, you know what I mean? And like it's not like one where you know you just see him walking past or whatever. It's like you actually know him, and this is every single time.
document,
Yeah.
man. Keep that pen and paper by your bed. Document the time. You know what to do.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And it's ever since I went to his grave.
That's interesting. It's really interesting.
Yeah, that is pretty creepy. It really
You know
is.
what,
You know.
sec? I'm just going to go get my book here. I'm actually going to record what time it is right now with Robin saying that. You guys mind if I disappear for 2 seconds?
No,
Yeah,
do
yeah,
your
go
thing,
ahead.
dude. No, do your
All
thing,
right, give
man.
me 1 sec, guys.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, that's pretty
No, just
cool. See.
I wasn't meaning to change the subject, but I just thought I'd ask that because it's been on my mind.
No, it's a good question. I mean, why not ask? You know, because I didn't even know that, man. We talk almost every day, so you
Yeah,
know,
I haven't said to anybody because to me it's just I first put it down to well I do listen to a lot of their stuff online still, and I watch documentaries about them and stuff, and
yeah,
maybe it's just that, but I've liked them since 1980, whatever, what I mean.
yeah,
But it's only now that ever since I did that a couple of years ago that it happens.
yeah. No, that's you know, that's creepy, man. I mean, but you know what though? It's the same thing for anyone, you know, who thinks it's weird. You know, who's watching? It's like the same thing when they think of their grandmother or loved one who's passed away. It's like we have that connection in the dream with them, and if you're having that connection with him, I mean, who knows? That's you and him. You and his spirit may have, you know, who knows? Like I said, had a past life or been somehow connected in some way. You never know. So it's
Yeah,
possible, man. Sounds
Your
like a
your
visitation either way.
yeah, your thoughts are pretty much like a telephone. When you think of something, that energy goes out and that connects to whoever it is.
Yeah.
Right?
yeah,
Like I had that when I was doing like when I first started doing this and I wanted to connect with Tupac because Tupac was a huge influence on my life. No problem. I thought about him, I prayed about him, I played his music, and I started doing sessions, and I was getting results coming through like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
All right.
No, I mean, dude, I tell you what, and for anyone who hasn't seen some of Steve-O's stuff, go check it out at Steve-O, My Journey Paranormal. Steve-O spelled just like how he has it down there. And even SNK Paranormal. I mean, some of the stuff that he's captured, connecting with people that he loves, and not only that, just artists and everything. I mean, it's truly phenomenal what him and Kelly, as you see in the comments, his wife do. I mean, it's crazy with the spirit communication that they get. But John, tell us what you're writing down. Tell us all that.
I actually am writing dream manipulation down. What I'm going to do is, I mean, what's really cool about being part of Paraflixx is I get to talk to all these really, really cool people from different shows. So I'm actually going to start picking their brain, and I had to write it down to make sure I didn't forget, because I want to give Robin an answer, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, let's knowledge is power, right?
Absolutely.
So it's like, this is how I'm going to make sure. So I'm going to reach out to like Doug and Francis from Beyond the Veil, and you know, Brandon Crody from Paranormal in the Funhouse, and even Natalie Jones, who's the president and CEO.
Awesome.
You know, I'm just going to reach out, and I'm actually going to follow up with this after this is done here, Robin, and I'll let you know what the consensus is.
Yep,
Cool,
excellent.
man. Well, hey, what we'll do is we'll have you on, John, and we'll make the announcement there, man. We'll see what happens. I think the viewers would want to see that. I think that'd be pretty cool.
For sure, man. I'll be happy to do that, and then
I'm not
right?
the only one that's going to have this. You know what I mean? Other people that are going to have it with different, like like Steve-O said, he was really into Tupac and stuff like that, and people are going to have it even with relatives. You know what I mean? Or friends that have gone, or it's not just going to be, just these certain people, but it's like it just, I don't know, it just didn't add up to me.
Mm-hmm. See, the type of investigator. Oh, go ahead.
He just may want to connect with you. He can see your light, and he knows the type of work you do because you're a spiritual communicator. And I would definitely take an opportunity to record and see if you can get him to come through as well.
Yeah, I must try
totally.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That it doesn't kill you; it only makes you stronger.
Amen to that. Amen to that.
I mean, you never know unless you try, and if you don't try, I mean, it's a waste, right?
Amen. Amen. He's absolutely right with that. Well, listen, man, I wanted to say thank you, man, for coming on. I wanted to do just a short session today with you, and check out everything that's coming on. Do you have any things that you could tell your fans, or is there anything? Well, first question is, can you give us maybe some hints of maybe when that exclusive seasons are going to hit Paraflixx, man?
I wish I could. It's actually it's all in Dean's hands. It's not even me. I'm just the face in front of the camera.
Okay.
After we're done, it all goes to Thunder Boys Studios, and
cool.
Dean does his thing. The only stuff I do with Thunder Boys is the audio stuff. So,
Okay, man, sounds good. Well, hey, one last thing, because I know your fans will want to hear a message. I know it's been a long couple years with COVID, so I'm gonna put you solo on the screen. If you could just give your fans and everybody who loves True North just a message from you to them, and then we'll get you back out and we'll end the show, man. So I just want to say thank you again, brother. So here you go. Go ahead and tell your fans whatever
Nothing
you'd like.
being on the spot here. Listen, guys, thank you guys so much for your patience and understanding and support with True North Paranormal. Really encourage each other too. Your friends do this. Encourage them. Let's start being kind to each other, because I'll tell you that's the only way we're going to get ahead, especially these times. Keep it creepy.
Heck yeah, man. Awesome. Oh, I just totally removed him like an idiot. I got too
thanks
excited.
for that one.
Got too excited from that one. Oh, man.
Yeah, it was a big,
cool.
I saw a big thing of Robin right there, so.
I know, right?
Yeah, you want my left profile or my right profile, you know what I mean?
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I know, right? I always forget to do my makeup before these things, too, so, I mean, it's like, which side looks better?
I had a chip today, so.
Watch out.
There you
Watch
go.
out. That peach fuzz, Robin.
Yeah.
I got the cat to lick it off.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. John, thank you so much, man. Everybody, this is John from True North Paranormal. Check them out on multiple streaming things, but check them out on Paraflixx. They're going to have 2 exclusive episodes coming out, the 2nd and soon the 3rd that they're filming now. So definitely go to Paraflixx, check them out. Also, you guys are on what other platforms, if you could shout out to them?
Amazon Prime. I think that's it now. Yeah, Amazon Prime and Paraflixx. There we go.
Okay, cool. Yeah, awesome. And also check them out on YouTube as well.
That's right, YouTube. Man,
Yep.
see, this is how out of it I am. This
That's
is
right.
what 2
I got you
years
covered.
does, right?
I got you covered, brother.
Thanks,
But
AJ. I appreciate it.
anytime. But no, listen, man. Thank you so much for coming on. Please give the wife our best. Tell her please come
I'll do
on
that.
when you reveal Robin's thing, for us. And we look forward to having you on again, man. I'm super happy that I was able to have you on in the beginning of this podcast back in the day, and we became good friends. And I can't thank you
Yeah.
for everything that you've done for me, man, for being there, honestly, through some wicked times when we just met. And I appreciate all that, really do, and I'll never forget that. And thank you to you and your family for all that you do. And thank you to Thunder Boys, Dean, everyone over there for everything you guys do as well, for bringing True North to
Absolutely.
us.
Well, man, I appreciate that, guys. Thanks a lot for having me on here. I've really had fun, and man, it's totally been too long. I mean,
I
let's do
know.
this again.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So we'll definitely be having you on soon. So please let us know when you get, if you hear anything about Robin's thing, we'll have you back on as quick as possible. And
I'll do that.
we'll get it going, man. All right, brother. Well, hey, have a
And
good
make
day.
sure you play Photograph in the background.
Yeah, there you go.
You want me to
We
sing
gotta
it
get
for
John to
you, or I
play
can
it and
I can
sing
do
it.
it, man. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Yeah, right. We got to get him to play and sing at people because he does music. I mean, he's a guitarist. He does drums. He does it all. Go check out on YouTube. But John,
I'm
thank you.
not doing Photograph, man. I would totally not do justice to that song. So
No. Oh, all right. I'll let it go then, I guess.
yeah,
Maybe,
just this time.
maybe
This is
next
one time.
episode I'll have to bring it back up.
There you go.
But brother,
Right.
thank you so much, man. Much love, and we will talk to you soon.
Take
Thanks,
care,
John.
guys.
Bye.
All right, thanks for having me. Bye now.
There.
So guys, that's so awesome, man. I was so happy that John was able to come on. Unfortunately, like I said, his wife Karina wasn't able to come on. She was busy with some things, but we'll have them on soon because I want to see what they're going to find from you, Robin. See what they can come up with for the dream,
Yeah.
interpretation.
It was funny though when you think back when I said to you, right, get your diary because I've got a load of people here that have booked in, and I'm going through them all. I said John from True North, and you're like, you're shitting me, aren't you?
I'm like, my friend? What the heck? Yeah.
I was like, oh God, I bet you they've had some kind of a row in the past, or
oh no, yeah, I know, right? Yeah, it's always bad, right? Is the first thing we think. But guys, thanks for joining on this episode again. And this is what Talking with the Source is. Robin, Steve-O, myself. Unfortunately, as you know, Steve-O has been working super a lot up in Canada. Just bought a house and stuff, like he was saying to John and before. And it's just, I'm super proud of you, man. And I'm super happy for you and Kelly. I mean, it's a beautiful place. You've worked super hard. So I just want to give you that congratulations again, man. And say thank you for coming on this episode. We can't wait for you to come on
for being
Sundays. Yeah, and no, thanks everyone for watching too. So I appreciate it. And Robin, please show up late anytime you want. I'm just joking.
I'm normally in before you.
Yeah, I liked having Steve-O more than you anyway, so it was perfect.
Can you see that?
Parafam Entertainment, people, if you can go down and check out Parafam Entertainment, DNTV.
Definitely.
They have DNTV page as well. Go check it out. It's awesome. Thank you guys for watching the show. We appreciate you. You guys are our family, so we appreciate you. But go check out their all their social medias because they are a fantastic group of people, and that we work closely with a couple of them, and I'm super proud of those guys too. I mean, just some of the stuff is just amazing that they're doing. But guys, thank you again, and I will be talking to you guys soon.
And also check out Talking with the Source on social medias and YouTube. Check out Coventry Circle Paranormal.
You heard it.
S&K Paranormal, My Journey Paranormal, Afrin Paranormal, all on social medias and YouTube.
You heard it first there on Talking with the Source with Robin from the UK.
And make sure you check out A. James and Family Guy.
Oh man, too bad we could have showed that picture. But Steve-O, thank you, brother. Talk to you guys soon. Much love. Everyone at home, thank you for watching.
Take care, guys.
God bless. Bye.